Good afternoon. My name is Letty, and I work in the housing department here for the city of Riverbank. And we're here today to introduce the Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluation Report, known as the CAPER, for the fiscal year 24-25. And next to me is my manager, Tammy.
Good afternoon, Tammy Alcantar, the Assistant City Manager here in City of Riverbank.
So as part of the Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluation Report, known as the CAPER, as part of the annual, it's part of the annual HUD reporting requirements under the 5-year consolidated plan. The county prepares the Consolidated Annual Performance and Evaluation Report, known as a CAPER. At the end of each fiscal year, HUD requires this annual CAPER to report on the progress made in accomplishing the goals set forth on the CON plan. The projects and activities that are outlined on this CAPER were administered and overseen by the county's Department of Planning and Community Development. Stanislaus County serves as a lead entity for both Stanislaus County Home Consortium and the Urban County. So the purpose for this meeting is to present and gather input on the fiscal year 24-25 CAPER draft that the county has prepared. The CAPER draft can be found on the Stanislaus County website for online public review. The CAPER will highlight how federal CDBG and ESG funds were utilized during the program year and documents measurable outcome for the jurisdictions. So the complete for each jurisdiction. So give me 1 second, and then the consortium and Urban County members. These are the 8 cities, and HUD for these entitlement cities they've been with since 2001. The lead entity for the Stanislaus Urban County has been the lead since 2001. The city of Riverbank joined the Stanislaus Urban County in the fiscal year of 2021. Stanislaus County became the lead entity in 2023 for the Stanislaus Home Consortium. For fiscal year 24-25 CAPER, the HUD entitlement requirements are the Consolidated 5-year plan, an annual action plan known as the AAP, and it's done annually. The Consolidated plan is done every 5 years, and the Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluation Report, known as the CAPER, is done annually. Fiscal year 24-25, on the slide, you'll see the entitlement funding. For the programs, the Community Development Block Grant, which is known as CDBG, the allocations are listed there for 2024-25, $2,305,800. And for Emergency Solution Grants, known as the ESG, it's $205,225. The Community Block Grant, CDBG CV1, the allocation was $1,358,994. The Community Block Grant CDBG CV3 was $1,432,755. And for the program Home, known as the Home Investment Partnership Program, was $1,262,718. The amount for the CDBG program is shared among 7 cities, and for the Home program, it's shared between the 8 cities. Here on the slide, you'll see the amounts allocated for the Stanislaus County funding for fiscal year 24-25. And as the city of Riverbank, you'll see for the activities, and for $137,061 with 75, well, known as 137.62, and 5,000 is set aside for the administration. So that gives us a total of 142,061.75. The community block grant, as known as the CDBG grant program, the grant objectives are as followed. It directly benefits the low and moderate income people. It also prevents and eliminate slum and blight conditions and/or meet a particular urgent community development need. The community block grant CDBG CV objectives is to all funded activities must be CDBG eligible activities for the purpose of preventing, preparing, or responding to the COVID-19. For the projects for fiscal year 24-25, Stanislaus County, urban county projects are listed as on the slide. For Stanislaus County, they had their project improvements for the Modesto City water infrastructure series. It lists all the cities there. For cities, Houston, Newman, Oakdale, Patterson, Riverbank, and Waterford. And for Riverbank, we have the water and sewer line replacement that's located between the streets of High Street and Riverside Drive over by Pioneer Park. On the next slide, there's some pictures taken of the location where the water and sewer line replacement project is taking place. For this particular project, the allocated amount for the CDBG funds is $771,000. That's an estimate, but for the overall project budget is $1,157,687. The NEPA has been completed on this project, and as far as the project status, the project is tentatively to be scheduled to be rebid in the fall of 2025. Stanislaus County, urban county, has the CDBG public services on here on this slide. It lists the services grants programs. You'll see that the funds allocated for this program was $325,000. 9 public service programs were allocated 35,000 max. These were for 80% average median income or below. 1,900 unduplicated individuals were served, 500 individuals with a disability, 1,038 homeless persons were assisted, 144 over the age of 62 of age were assisted, and 92 of them were female head of household. For the CDBG CV grant program, the allocated funds were $2,791,749. 12 programs were funded with this allocation. Sounds Urban County CDBG CV1 Public Services. Out of the funded program service providers were Cambridge Academies, the Center for Human Services, the Children's Crisis Center CDBG Cares Program, and Family Promise of Greater from Modesto for the Rent and Utility Assistance Program, the Salvation Army Red Shield Feed the Need Program, and the United Samaritans Foundation. And the amounts are listed there for the allocation that these funded service providers received. The next slide was CDBG CV3 Public Services. And on these public service providers are listed Cambridge Academies, the Host House Shelter Program, Cambridge Academies, that's Naomi's House Shelter Program, the Center for Human Services Family Service Resource Center for Concrete Support, Community Housing and Shelter Services for the Rental Assistance Program, Havens Women's Center of Stanislaus, and the Salvation Army of Red Shield. In the amounts of it's listed on the slide there of these service providers of what they received. The ESG, Emergency Solution Grants Program. The purpose for the ESG program is it helps engage homeless individuals and families living on the street. Rapidly rehouses homeless individuals and families. It helps operate and provide essential services and emergency shelters for homeless individuals and families. It helps to prevent individuals and families from becoming homeless. For the ESG CV purpose, all funded activities must be ESG eligible activities and for the purpose of preventing and preparing and or responding to the COVID-19. For Stanislaus Urban County fiscal year 24-25 ESG program funds, for the amount of funds allocated for these programs was $205,225. 3 public service grants, which was the Center for Human Services in Haven and the Turning Point received these funds. There was the program is for 30% AMI or below. 403 unduplicated individuals were served. 157 individuals were with disability. And out of those, 23 seniors and 27 veterans. For the home program, the Stanislaus Home Consortium, this is pending request for proposals, and this is to be released in the fall of 2025. Funds may be used for a variety of affordable housing activities that are generally fall into the 4 categories. And those 4 categories, it's rehab of owner-occupied housing, assistance to first-time home buyers, acquisition, rehabilitation, or construction of rental housing, and tenant-based rental assistance. For the fiscal year 24-25 outcomes and progress of 5-year goals, it lists the consolidated plans there on the slide. And this meeting was held for public comment period. So the public comment period for the draft CAPER that the Stanislaus County provided is from August 8th to September 16th of this year. And there will be meeting, the Stanislaus County Board of Supervisors will be holding a public hearing on September 16, 2025. Questions?
None on Zoom. I would like to state that if there's no questions today, that's fine. If you have questions or comments on the report, you're welcome to email myself, talcantor@riverbank.org, or Letty can also accept those, which is on the slide there at the bottom. And we have until September 16th to submit, or I should say September, probably the 14th would be preferable to submit to the county so that they can include any of those comments in the report. The City Council of City of Riverbank will be hearing this item at their meeting on August 26th. And they will be taking public comment at that meeting as well. And they will be considering support and acceptance of this report to send to the county. Again, please feel free to reach out if you have any comments or concerns on the report, or even questions, and we will do our best to get those answers to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, and have a great day.